Thank you for this illuminating speech, Bill. We appreciate it. Now we are open for questions, and the index cards, for those of you who have questions, please hand them over. I think the event volunteers are coming around. I'd like to perhaps ask one of the questions first on behalf of Committee of 100. Our theme, as you know, is Bridge to Change. And you certainly, Citibank is doubling their number of outlets to 30 this coming year, and you're increasing 1,000 people to your staff in China, totaling 4,000. Can you explain to us, perhaps, Citigroup, how Citigroup will be contributing? How are you a bridge to changing the financial structure in China?
Well, I had mentioned that we have moved our training center for Asia to Shanghai. And that's not only to train our own people, but it's open to training our colleagues from the Chinese financial institutions, and actually to our clients, our non-financial clients in China. Also, I think we are the largest consumer bank in the world, and we've already started to introduce new ideas for consumer finance, and we want to continue to do so. I think in the area of SMEs and venture capital, we want to be very much involved in that. And I think also we want to be very much involved in lending to areas which are basically now in China do not have the ability to gain access to finance. And we've had talks with the CBRC about starting to do that. They are encouraging us. Li Mingkong, who is the chairman of the CBRC. So these are all areas that I think we can be helpful to. And the other thing is to work with our Chinese clients as they start to move around the world. And as I said, that's happening as we sit here today, and people don't even realize the magnitude, as I mentioned earlier, that we're going to see in that regard.
What are some of the regulatory and other differences in operating in China versus other Asian nations?
We still have, excuse me, we still have a number of restrictions on us. We can't branch freely at this point. Now we'll be able to do more since we've incorporated locally with WTO. And in some Asian countries, that is not the case. That's why I made a point about China continuing to open up. In addition to what we're doing with our branches, I think our stake in Guangdong Development Bank is very important because we have management. And this is really a test situation, because not only do we have management, but with our other Chinese shareholders, we have control. There have been other cases where there's been management, but not control. So this is the first case in modern China where a foreign institution is not only managing, but with its Chinese partners have control. And we are constantly reminded of this by the head of the CBRC, who signed off on this, Li Mingkong, and also the governor of the People's Bank of China, Zhou Xiaoshuan. So it's very important that our investment succeeds, not just for us, but I think for this whole experiment in China, so the government can point to the population and say, see, this investment helped China. And that is one way, I think, to push against this growing protectionism and nationalism, some of which we see in China as well as our own country here.
Yesterday we had different speakers in various panels, but all on investing in China. And Ronnie Cheng, the chairman of Hang Lung, was very positive about investing in China and welcomed everybody to go to China and make lots of money. Then we had Richard Perry from Perry Capital, and he had some difficulties in China trying to start a hedge fund there. And apparently the politicians there did not really welcome him open-handedly. And he came back with sort of a dubious response. So now that you're trying to expand within China, what kind of response are you getting? And in fact, I just want to say Richard said the Chinese don't want foreigners to make much more money. He said, you know, you've made so much money in the last 10 years, we want to start making it ourselves. So what kind of response are you getting?
Well, I think you've got to show the Chinese authorities and also our clients, because the clients at the end of the day pay our bills, that we have something to offer. And I think if you can provide the service, the innovation, I think in the markets, I think you not only can do it successfully, but you can make money at it. But like anything else in life, nothing is easy. That's true anywhere in the world, including here.
Now, this is a question from the audience. How would you evaluate the willingness and ability of recently privatized Chinese banks to make loans on a sound commercial basis? To what extent is lending still taking place based on political pressure at the provincial government level?
Now, I think that is a key question. As you know, I spoke to that, alluded to that in my talk. I think that is very key. And that's one of the reasons why an independent board is very important, because what the questionnaire has noted is that, unfortunately, is one of the reasons that China rang up so many non-performing loans. And a number of steps have been taken, as I mentioned, to see that that's not repeated. But the key point is this: they have to allow the banks to make loans on a sound commercial basis and to price them correctly. And this is going to be the key to the success of the opening up of the Chinese banking system. And if the Chinese banking system isn't opened up successfully, that'll impact, obviously, the country, particularly when close to 90% of the financial flows, as I mentioned earlier, go through the banking system. So this is a key point.